What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Trey again, about to do another reacts video. You know me, I do reactions to any type of video. It could be a scary video, it can be a funny video, it could be like a daily dose of the internet. And politics and things like that are very relevant these days. So yes, I will be doing reaction videos to some of those. So I got this one right here. Oh, it's 10 minutes. Pretty long video, but let's check it out. Let's see. Hold on. What did it? My white ex-girlfriend goes viral for being racist. No way this is his ex-girlfriend. No way. I don't believe that, but let's check it out.
He's a filthy
But you call all of us niggas.
No, I didn't. I called him and for acting like a
So what do you call yourself? What do you think you are?
My name's Tara. That's what I am.
So what do you think you
I'm
are?
a mad bitch.
So you call people when you get mad?
I do. I call people if they act like Hello?
And what do you think you are?
Filthy filming me. Need to hurry up.
Who you calling
Yep.
That's cool.
Thank you.
You go to jail, you filthy
Yeah, bitch. That's why you
Thank
just got
you.
the f out of you.
That's cool.
That's Come on, man. Just preach, brother. What you got
I
to say?
am deeply embarrassed to what I'm about to say, but that chick right there was my ex-girlfriend of when I was 16 years old.
What?
It was the first girlfriend I ever had, but I'm not making this video to talk about her or make this video about her or my relationship with her when I was just a kid. In fact, on the contrary, I hope this video stays in the algorithm of just my followers and not outside, because I would hate for her to find my video reaction to this and to somehow find me. I would absolutely hate that. I don't and wouldn't want anything to do with this person. So my video today is about noticing something. I have dated 3 white girls in my life, and watching this video right here, it made me realize that all 3 of them turned out to be bigots. Of course, in the beginning, when you're first dating them, you don't realize it because they're not openly racist. On the contrary, they claim they're not racist. They claim to have friends that are non-white. I have black friends. I have friends that are Mexicans, Asians, etc. And in the beginning of these relationships, I was under the impression that the girlfriends that I was dating, the white girlfriends, were not bigots in the beginning. Like this one in particular in the video, I ain't really gotta say much because it speaks for itself. So I'll share the experience with the other 2. Now mind you, I dated white girls when I was really young. This one when I was 16, so I was a kid. So the second white girl that I dated, she was 24 years of age. She was older than me. And she had 3 kids by 2 different guys. Her first kid, she had it with a white guy. And then her 2 other little daughters, she had them with a Salvadorian guy. And while I was dating her, I used to come to her apartment and hang out. And of course, her kids would always be there. And I noticed that whenever her white son did something wrong, broke the rules, whatever, she would sit with him and patiently teach him how what he did was wrong and why. She was very patient with him. She was doing a great job educating this kid. That was her white son, the son that she had with a white man. But then when the 2 other kids that she had with a Salvadorian guy, when those kids broke the rules, misbehaved, she would never say anything to them. She would grab their hands and really hard. And the first time that I witnessed that, I didn't say anything, but I was very uncomfortable watching this. However, when I got comfortable after a couple of days of coming over and I witnessed her doing this again, I said something. And this is when I learned that I was dating a bigot. I said to her, how come when your son misbehaves or does something wrong, you never hit him? You sit down with him and educate him and teach him how it's wrong. But then when the 2 little girls misbehave or do something wrong, you say nothing. You just beat the hell out of them. And this is what she said. Because my son is white and those 2 little girls are Salvadorian. And I said, I don't get it. What's that got to do with anything? And she said, white people, we know how to behave. But Salvadorians, have you seen the way they are? These people are savages. I
Wow.
would never be able to educate my daughters like the way that I educate my son. Because
And by the way, for people that don't know, my mom's white and my dad's black. So I'm mixed. I grew up in Montana. I've seen racism, but I also grew up the second, after like 10 years old in California with the black side of my family. So I've seen both. I've seen how it can be on both sides. I've seen bigotry in every way that you can imagine. But I'm telling you right now, the way that white people see people of color, not all white people, not my mom, they see him as less than. But now being older, 41 years of age, I have 4 kids myself. I see that it's projection. The people that are bigots are projecting themselves. They say, you are less than, you are not Christian enough, you are not uh, kind enough, whatever the case may be. And it's a reflection of exactly what they are. It's like they're taking out what they are on everybody else. You see what I'm saying? And as a Christian too, you got these MAGA people out there. If you're gay, if you're trans, if you're Muslim, if you're atheist, if you don't believe in religion at all, if you're a woman, uh, whatever it may be, they are racist against it. What I mean is they have a issue with it. They cannot mind their own business. But when it comes to the white people's outlook on people, they just see black people and brown people as less than human. In case, somehow the color of my skin makes it to where I'm not smart enough, I'm not educated enough. Like, come on, man. Like, what the hell is that? And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. And it's, especially right now during the Trump era of America, bringing this back. People are proud to be. They're prideful when they say the N word. You know, and it's pathetic. It's pathetic, man.
it's in the DNA of these people
The DNA.
to act like this. You
Exactly.
cannot educate, you cannot speak to them and teach them. You have to beat them until they understand. And I said, oh, so this is in their DNA.
Oh, see, I paused it as he said in your DNA, so I forgot he was talking about. She was explaining the Salvadorian kids as it's in their DNA to be whatever she thinks they are. No, it is literally in the DNA for centuries. Not for all white people, and even some black people and Asian people. There's some DNA in some people that makes them bigots. That's another example of projection. Only one that has hate in their DNA or something that makes them less than is the people that are bigots. And I'm sick of it. Like if I see a gay person, look, I don't want to see 2 gay people kissing, but it's not my business. I'm a Christian, but if you're a Buddhist, oh, you shouldn't be in America. Like it's not my fucking business. You have a white two women are married with 2 adopted kids. That's a beautiful thing. Same with men. Two men, whatever. This is America. The reason I cannot stand the MAGA movement in America, which is not a new thing, it's just reinvigorating the Confederacy and the hate and all that. But they just cannot mind their own business. They literally, and you know what? Leave it in the comments what you feel. I'm okay with getting a bunch of comments of people that disagree. Because I'm going to say what I got to say, no matter what. But these people literally hate America. They're saying, if you don't like America, get out. Go back to where you came from. What are you talking about? They call me African American or black or mixed, whatever. I've never been to Africa. My dad and his dad and his dad have never been to Africa. My mom, since the beginning of America, 1776, we've been here too. What are you talking about? Anyway, they hate America's diversity. The most diverse country on planet Earth. The most free country on planet Earth. We have a constitution. They hate all that stuff. They want it to be Christian, white, cut and dry. This isn't Nazi Germany, okay? This is America, for crying out loud.
And she said, absolutely. And I said, so what's in the DNA of white people? And this is exactly what she said. She said, royalty is in our DNA. We come from queens and kings. I'm Mexican, but when you talk about a demographic of people that phenotypically resemble me, then you might as well be talking about me. So not only did I identify bigotry, but this was now personal against people that look like me. You have racist views against people that look like me, yet you're dating me. You're having kids with people that look like me. Why would he even have kids with us if you feel like this about us? Why don't you stick with your royalty? So although at this time I was very young, younger than her, and young enough to where I wasn't able to understand what I understand now. However, although young and not as informed, I still identified the bigotry, the white supremacy in her ideology and views. And because of that, I disappeared. Now the third and final white girl that I dated, I was still really young. She was a very, very outgoing girl. If you hung out with her just one day and you witnessed and experienced her personality, her humor, she was a very outgoing girl. There is absolutely no way this person could be a bigot. She was a sweetheart, super sweet, kind, very friendly. There was not a racist bone in this girl's body. No way. If anybody ever came around trying to hate, trying to give me some gossip about her, oh, she's this, she's that, I don't think so. I know her. Well, anyway, one day I came to pick her up and I was outside waiting. So when she comes out, normally, because she's very outgoing, she'd come kind of like, being silly. But this time, she came a little, she looked gloomy, maybe even sad. She hopped in the car and I asked, something wrong? And because I already shared this story in a previous video, I'm not going to tell the full version. You're just going to have to watch my other video. So long story short, I convinced her to tell me what's the matter. And she said, Ricardo, I'm not racist, but... Now mind you, she was a white girl and she lived in a predominantly white neighborhood. No non-white people in sight. In fact, I was hesitant to come around and pick her up. Normally, she'd come over to my town and we'd hang out in my town. I hesitated. I told her, I don't want to go over there where you live. But anyway, I digress. We're sitting in her car and she says, Ricardo, I'm not racist, but... Whenever they say that, I'm not racist, but brace yourself, because they're about to say some racist shit. I'm not racist, but there's a black family that just moved into our neighborhood. That's what she said. And I looked over to her. It's like, so? And she says, I have nothing against those people. Nothing. You know me. I have black friends. And she did. She, in fact, did. So she says, I have black friends, but can't they just stay in their neighborhoods? And I said, well, what's wrong with them? And she says, well, you know how they are. And anyway, long story short, I disappeared. And this is the cherry on top, by the way. When I broke up with her, we were still friends on Facebook. So I still got to see her posts, etc. And all of a sudden, she starts posting videos and blogs expressing how much she can't stand Mexican people and how she wants them out of here, legal or not. And I looked at these posts like, why do these people date us when they hate us? Why do they have children with us when they feel superior than us and they look down on us? Does anybody have an answer for these questions? Why?
No. I don't have an answer for these questions because I just don't get it. Like he's explaining right here. Okay? And like, to make another weird point, like Kamala Harris, excuse me. Even I get that wrong sometimes. They said she wasn't black. This is what bigots do. They discredit you in any way they possibly can. Like me, they'll look at me and say, "But you're Trey, you're not black. You're not black because your mom's white." No, I'm black. Okay, okay, listen. But they just have to have an issue with everything that isn't. They think that they're pure. Like their water, their clean water, and everything else in it is dirt and contamination. You know who else thought like that? Hitler. These are the same people that fly. They say, we're American patriots. If you don't like our country, leave. And they have on their wall, they'll have a Confederate flag. The number one enemy of America in American history, the one that killed the most Americans, the number one enemy of America was the Confederation. But yet they call themselves American patriots while flying a Confederate flag. So when he says things like, should somebody make sense of this? Of the way these people act. Yes, I said it. When I say these people, I mean bigots. And don't get me wrong, there's bigots that are black, there's bigots that are Asian. These type of people are the ones that don't belong. Okay? Leave it in the comments. You got an issue with what I said? I said it. Okay? Because my mom is white and she is not a bigot, obviously. You know what I mean? But make it make sense. And if you can't stand something so much, like, I'm not going to go to a gay bar. Why? Because I'm not gay. But I'm not motivated to go shoot up a gay pride parade or something like that, which we see on the news all the freaking time, like the one in Berlin the other day. Or they ran a car into it. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. Make it make sense. Or try to make it make sense. And you can't. And this has been going on for centuries. And here we are in 2026. And it's still happening again. And they're trying to erase history of black history. And like they're ashamed of themselves. And the way they work that out is by blaming everybody else. That's why I always say projection. They say assimilate to America. They're not assimilating to America. America is diversity. Everything in America came from somewhere else, including you white people. Make it make sense. I don't know.
Do they date us, but they hate us? Why do they have children with us,
have a discussion,
but look down on us? Please, by all means, share it in the comment section. But aside from that, I find it even more confusing when I learn that non-white people, we become interested in a white person and eventually learn that this white person is a bigot. Their entire families don't like us, and yet we still go ahead with the relationship.
True.
We still go ahead and have children with them, setting ourselves up so that our kids are not welcomed over there, setting ourselves up so that their own white mothers could discriminate against their own half white children. The level of self-hate that we have to have and suffer from to go ahead with this relationship, with this marriage, with this building of a family, with a people that don't like us is
Well, there you have it. Let me just make sure this is paused by a second time. But thankfully, you know, my mom has two white kids, two black kids, me and my sister, and I have a brother and sister, half sisters. But my mom has never treated us any different at all. Of course, she has her own stereotypical outlooks, and I've seen them few and far between, and I choose to ignore it. Like maybe a misunderstanding of something, but nothing. Like once she said, uh, my dad used to say, these people are treating me different because I'm black or whatever. And she would tell him, that's in your head. And I used to tell her, like, I'm literally going to the store in my work shirt, my work hat after work, and I have somebody following me around the entire time. And she's like, doing, Trey, nobody's following you because they suspect you're stealing or because you're black. And then one day she went to the store with me and I was like, watch. And she was so pissed off that this in a super Walmart with hundreds of people, you have security, me with my mom, but they're following me every corner I take. They're right there around the corner, watching me. And I pointed out to her and I said, "See," and she was literally disgusted. So of course they cannot relate to things that people of color go through. You know, Mexicans, how hard they work. They're the most family orientated, hardworking people you can ever imagine. And they treat these people like all they do is take from taxpayers when all they do is contribute, give, and they get paid less. They don't complain. They contribute to Social Security and Medicare and all these taxes. They don't benefit from any of that stuff. It's I digress. I'm going on a rant. But yeah, leave in the comments, things that you people out there watching the video, what you think. I know a lot of you probably disagree with me, and that's fine. That's gonna happen. But yeah, until the next video, make sure you like and subscribe, and we're gonna keep on the conversation.